Benvenuti o bentornati su Profumi di Nicchia. Oggi sarà una puntata un po' strana, sarà una puntata un po' in italiano, un po' in inglese, perché fortunatamente abbiamo l'occasione di avere un ospite internazionale che è venuto a trovarci per raccontarci il suo ultimo progetto. Già lo conoscete perché abbiamo avuto modo di parlarne in maniera più o meno approfondita nei nostri precedenti video. Diamo un caloroso benvenuto a John Molloy, il creatore, fondatore, tra le altre cose, anche di Hermetica.
Grazie.
Hello John, welcome
Hello.
to our studio and to our channel.
Thank you very much. It's a huge honor to be
It's
here in
our
front
honor.
of you
No, I like
and
that.
to be in the studio with you and your team. Thank you very, very much.
No,
Grazie mille.
Oh, even in Italian. It's an honor for us, having a personality like you, sharing thoughts and idea about the word that both of us love. Iniziamo spiegando proprio a voi chi è John Molloy, che cosa fa nella vita e perché appunto è una delle persone più rilevanti di questo settore.
Ok. Sono irlandese.
Okay. Now we explain why the bottles are green.
Yeah, exactly. First of all, thank you again. I'm John Molloy and I'm Irish, and I've had a lot of luck in life. Firstly, being born in Ireland with the nature, the green, the invigorating life. I grew up with horses in the countryside. My family breed racehorses, train racehorses, and everyone rides.
Okay.
So this was the beginning of my life, and from there I moved from the farm to the catwalk. I used to work in fashion.
Okay.
Fashion in Paris. And then I was very lucky to have another opportunity to meet my wife. And my wife is a very creative person. She's a French poet. She's called Clara. From there, we had the idea to create perfumes together.
Okay. So it's the idea of the fragrance comes with your wife.
Exactly. Well, I've always been a brand person. I started in fashion when I was 18.
Okay, very young.
Working in stores, working in department stores. I started my own fashion brand when I was 21. I used to come to Pitti Uomo.
Okay.
I used to visit Milan, visit the fashion stores. And then I worked in Paris in fashion. So I love brands and I love meeting people. I love storytelling. I love, more than anything else, working with creative people. Creative people inspire me, and creative people give me the energy in the morning to get up and think of new ideas. And I think what I love as well is working on tomorrow.
Okay.
Always thinking about tomorrow, inventing tomorrow.
Ok, you said something very important. John ha appena detto appunto che lavorare con le persone creative è ciò che lo stimola maggiormente ed è ciò che lo porta anche a guardare il futuro, e dico sempre che Hermetica è il brand del futuro, perché sebbene sia molto giovane nella di età, sia un marchio che ha meno di 4 anni, abbia già raggiunto non solo risultati importanti, ma abbia già inserito questo twist di novità legato al concetto di fragrance alcohol free. What I just said, you were talking about future. Perfect. So I don't have to repeat. So how can we connect the idea of future to this young, green, and very innovative brand such as Hermetica?
Well, Hermetica Paris was born very simply from quite a personal situation.
Okay.
It must have been nearly 6-7 years ago. My daughter came into the bathroom in the morning, and she was 7 years old. I was brushing my teeth, and I had the tap running with water. And she came in, she turned off the tap,
Okay.
and said, "Papa, you're wasting water. It's a precious resource. You only need 1 glass of water to brush your teeth." And this hit me like a 7-year-old girl telling me that I only need 1 glass of water to brush my teeth because water is a precious resource. And that made me think, what will my daughter think of us in the perfume industry when she is 20? How will she see what we've done? What will we have done to change things? What will we have done really in a huge step in innovation? And that was a starting point for saying, what can we do that is new and exciting? And that was the first time I gave myself a kick, saying, hey, John, let's talk to Clara. Let's think of something that our children would be proud of.
I never push so much on the concept of sustainability when I talk about Hermetica, because there are so many things to talk about. But the first time I received your sample kit, inside there was the little H's that you can plant and you can get a little...
There were some grasses and flowers that were coming out, exactly.
Yeah, was very funny.
Yes.
And like my girlfriend loved with this idea. Diceva appunto John che la prima volta che abbiamo ha avuto modo di conoscere Hermetica, avevamo ricevuto un Discovery Kit e dentro il Discovery Kit c'erano delle piccole H che in realtà si potevano piantare e una volta piantate facevano nascere 2 fiorellini, un po' di erba. Comunque questo concetto di ciclicità della natura, questo concetto di sostenibilità che viene confermato anche in queste piccole cose. Another thing that I think is very interesting about the idea of sustainability, you just change your package, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, but now it's not plastic, right? There is no plastic in the... Also
the color of the bottle.
Yeah, the color of the bottle will be different.
It's like slightly different texture. What we're trying to do is that, we're a family company and we always try to be better.
Okay.
So we're always trying to take things the better, and every time we see something and we can change it, we change it.
Okay.
And I think this was the beginning of Hermetica, was about that. The name Hermetica, it comes from the Hermetic texts, from the alchemists.
Okay.
From the Renaissance, when you see how the alchemists work. The first alchemists were working for Cleopatra.
Okay.
Trying to make the exeter of life, how to live forever. So what does alchemy mean? It means getting great people together, experts, to try and make something that's a huge innovation. So our thing was we could try to get the best nose together with Clara to sit down and to say, look, how can we invent tomorrow's perfume? So that was like, what formula can we have? So we had to change the whole way of formulation of the perfumes for Hermetica as well. Because normally, you make a formula and it's put in an alcohol base.
Yeah.
But with Hermetica, we had to find a new base, a moisturizing base, a base that dances on your skin. And from there, we had to say, okay, here we have the base that is like a skin food that moisturizes. How can we put the perfume in? And how can that work? So we had to start from zero and redo for the nose that worked with us, Aliénor Massenet, who was a famous nose. She had to rework everything she'd learned over the last 20 years in formulation and start again.
Yeah, in fact, one of the questions I wanted to make you was how changed the work of a nose working without alcohol. Like, as you said, like they learn how to do a job for, 40 years. And now with this technology, they totally change their way of thinking and acting, or is just a little change?
No, it's a fundamental change, because when you learn to ski on snow, you learn to ski, you know how to move, you know what the snow is like, you know what fresh snow is like, what old snow is like, and you understand when you go to ski.
Yeah.
And if you learn to ski as a child, you can ski all your life.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, my girlfriend didn't learn.
Okay, but the same thing. So, now working with a new way of perfume that we're looking with our base, which is called Innocent, the base that we're working with is a patented formula.
Okay.
It's like, okay, I'm going to go and to ski on water.
Okay.
Or I'm going to go to ski on sand. It's a completely different thing. The texture, so you got to start again, and your movements, your way of doing things. So when the nose, Aliénor had to start, she had the base, and she had to start to put one ingredient, a second ingredient, a third, and then see how they react in this base.
Okay.
To make it, so it had to start with zero, and that was just a long time, and then to real trial by error. So it was a wonderful opportunity to be so creative. But to start at zero, it meant taking a lot of risks.
Yeah, of course.
And then to come up with something that is really long lasting, that dances on your skin, that feels really good in your skin, that was where the magic came in. We nearly stopped the project like so many times.
Okay.
We felt we couldn't get it right. We nearly stopped it before we launched the brand. We persevered, we kept fighting to make it work, to believe, and then suddenly it came out, and now it's growing everywhere in the world. So it's taken a long time, but it nearly never got there, because it was so difficult to make something that is long-lasting, something that has extraordinary perfume juices, and something that people a new way of wearing perfume on their skin.
Gli ho chiesto appunto a John come cambia il lavoro del naso quando si lavora in una materia diversa da quella che è l'alcol, e appunto lui ha fatto questo esempio dicendo: quando uno impara a sciare sulla neve, sa sciare sulla neve, è un certo tipo di superficie. Se deve sciare sull'acqua, la tecnica sì, può essere la stessa, ma cambia tutta la superficie su cui si va a fare questo tipo di sport. Cambierà anche l'evoluzione dell'odore se andiamo a cambiare la base. You said about a fragrance that dance with us, and this is like the new idea of Hermetica that I think is a stronger message than the alcohol-free fragrance, because proposing Hermetica to the customer, they are kind of scared that it has no alcohol, so it doesn't last. And for me, it's very difficult to explain that The fragrance lasts a lot. The difference is that the projection
yes.
of the fragrance, the scent of it, is a totally different idea of what market is presenting right now. Is focusing on very strong scent, a huge silage, deep ingredients, while you arrive with, for example, light patchouli plus a rose note, or I don't know, green lion, that is probably my favorite one of your line. You thought that there was space in the market for a product like this, or maybe in the future the trend will change and an idea of a lighter fragrance will have a success. Quello che ho chiesto in maniera molto maccheronica è come mai in un momento in cui tutti cercavano la potenza, l'oud, la scia, John è venuto fuori con un concetto di fragranza che è totalmente opposto, and correct me if I'm wrong, like you know very well about the idea of silage, powerful, because the other brand of yours is Memo, and I think everybody knows the power of these fragrances. Did you watch in the future, or did you trust in your luck, basically?
I first of all, we're sort of a creative family house. Okay. So everything we do is about our inner belief of where we think and what we want for ourselves. We don't do any sort of like market research or do that sort of thing. So we really try to work on the future. So we said to ourselves, now that the niche industry is roughly 15 years old, we said, where are we going in the future? Getting back to what my daughter said about sustainability, about the future, about everything, working with ingredients that come from other processes, byproducts of other industries, putting them together to make Hermetica. And as you said, Hermetica dances on your skin, because when you have alcohol in a perfume, and alcohol is fantastic, I have nothing against alcohol in a perfume, it's like a rocket, it goes directly to your nose. It's like when you have a glass of whiskey, you pick it up, you go, or a glass of brandy, it can even make your eyes water because it's so good at its job. When you have innocent perfume here, it's completely different. It's like a boat coming like this, very strongly. People in perfume, they're used to spraying it and then waiting or wafting to see how it will be. But with Hermetica, you smell the perfume, straight away you know how it will be in 10 hours, 12 hours time. And it gives you this feel-good factor. So it's not about having a powerful 1 minute in the shop and then afterwards being different. It's about being there all the time. It's like when you dance, it's on your skin, you feel good. We feel good when we dance. And it's all about that emotional, sensual feeling of Hermetica. And Hermetica is a very sensual perfume.
I like this idea. A sensual fragrance is something that is delicate, intimate. It's something that I'm the only one allowed to smell. You passed from PT, I guess, last year, and the focus was where did you spray the fragrance? Every time I'm in the store or I have to evaluate a fragrance, I spray and then I wait, 20 minutes. But I always said, if you spray this, they remain like this. There is something different compared to alcohol fragrances.
Yes, and it is. If you look at what we all want today, what we want for our children, what we want to have with the way we eat differently, to sport differently, to lose weight, you put on more muscle, you feel better, stronger to go forward. There's a lot of things that we are learning today, and I think the world is getting better in this. The same thing with clean fragrances. So Hermetica is the first, what you call, clean fragrance brand. So every ingredient, everything we do has got such a strict regime of what we can do. So when starting off with this and starting with a white piece of paper and working with the most creative nose to do this with the technology that was patented, we just wanted to have tomorrow's fragrance. And we're learning as we go along. We're learning about how the fragrances react, how we can make them better, and every time we're trying to do it better. So we're not the biggest, we're not the best, but we have got a lot of passion. We have got a lot of great people in our teams, and we've got a lot of great customers who are just fantastic, who love what we do, and they drive us to make us keep venturing on new things for tomorrow.
There is, I don't know, an episode, a moment, a conversation you had when you said, okay, Fabio, chiamiamo l'aiuto da casa per tradurre.
He was mentioning that like you were kind of stuck.
Yes, you were stuck in
what was the turning point?
Yeah, the turning point. Yeah.
I think there's a real turning point when we were making Hermetica. And that was when Eleanor and Clara came to me and said, look, we've made the source. When you're able to make a green, dry, energetic amber in a perfume with a new technology, when you can make all of that in one perfume and it lasts for 12 hours. That was the real turning point. And thank you for asking about it. The turning point was the source. And I think if we'd never made the source, we could never have made Hermetica. And that's the why then we put the source in every perfume. It was made to make a complex fragrance that is long-lasting, that has got a great energy, that has got a great volume in the source. And that was a turning point. If we had not made the source, Hermetica would never have seen the light of day.
When they said me, basically, source is the start of the one, is very fresh, and you can find in all the fragrances. So even for me, the idea was totally new. Say, is this an ingredient? Is this like, is a fixed structure in all of your fragrances? And when I start to wear them, I always find this very slightly common point that I guess, of course, is the source. But talking about fragrance, anche in italiano non si chiede mai a un padre quale dei figli preferisce, però te lo chiedo lo stesso, quindi which is your favorite among the Hermetica fragrances?
Well, I really, really love vertical oud, actually.
Okay.
I love all of them, as you know, but to pick out one that I wear an awful lot, because it's like turning an oud upside down.
Okay.
It's a really enjoyable oud. It's not jumping out in your face, yet it's very long lasting, yet it's got this wonderful twist to it. So I always like fragrances that make me smile. And that's why we do it, because, if you want to have a good day, it's not one big thing that changed your day, it's accumulation of things. And I think having a fragrance that can make you smile, I think that's amazing. And so, if you're asking me out of one, of course, I wear the source. I think it's just so special, and I love then playing around with vertical oud as well.
Ok, so you mix them?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. John diceva anche che quando la nota è un po' troppo aggressiva, basta aggiustarla con un po' di source e diventa una meraviglia. At home, I have almost 80 fragrances, but it's my job, so I guess you have probably the same amount or more, probably more. For you, the moment where Hermetica gives the best.
And I always like to say, other beauty routines, be it skincare, makeup, whatever, there are rules. But perfume is one thing where you do whatever you want. And it's got to be easy. I don't want to think about it. Often, it can be the first one that I grab my hand. It can be something that I look at the weather outside. My son is playing some music. It makes me think of peony pop. Because a bit of pop music. Then I should go for that. I should go for the inspiration that comes to me and then try it. And then that's where you get the surprise, because you've heard something, you've seen something, you feel something, and you grab whatever just comes to the moment. And then you wear it, and suddenly it brings something to you. So I'm all about the no rules and going for it for the day, because when you have 80 perfumes like you and I have, or even if you have 10 perfumes, you often forget. And it brings back something to you each time, because remember that our nose is our best memory. Of all of our memories of the five senses. So I really think that, play with perfumes. There's no rule. Pick one up you love and you go for it. And that's my feeling with perfumes is really should be no rules. Take it, wear it, enjoy it, and smile.
I'm very happy you said this, because in Italy, people are always very focused on, is this fragrance for men? Is this fragrance for women? Is this fragrance strong enough? But people can perceive it. And I always said, try. Also, thanks to your amazing Discovery Kit. Dicevo, il suo meraviglioso Discovery Kit, perché è bello giocare con le fragranze, però siccome non tutti possono avere 80 profumi a casa, anche per una questione di soldi, come sempre io vi consiglio, provate sempre Kit. Alla fine, come dice anche John, il profumo è qualcosa di estremamente personale, dove non esistono regole, dove bisogna sentirsi liberi. Per cui fidatevi che una volta che provate a vivere questo mondo come un gioco, anche attraverso i sample kit, è tutta un'altra cosa. People are always wearing a fragrance for the others. I'm trying to push people to wear fragrances just for them.
Well, I have something that I always say when I'm meeting our customers, because they give us so much energy. They also give me so many good stories about the fragrances.
Same for me.
But I always say, if you like a fragrance on yourself, the people who like you will like that fragrance on you. If you come home with a new haircut and you're feeling really good, they're going to say to you, that's a great haircut. They're going to see it makes you feel good, and it's going to be good. The same thing with a perfume. I think you've got to get a perfume that you like, that makes you smile, wear it on yourself, And I guarantee you, the people that like you will like it on you.
Io posso dire che tutto quello che lui sta dicendo è esattamente il mio modo di vedere questo mondo. Mi fa molto piacere che senza che ci fossimo messi d'accordo questi temi vengano condivisi.
And I think one thing you're saying about sharing, I think Hermetica Paris, we like to share. And you know, for every bottle that we sell around the world, we plant a tree. So, and it's not just doing it, we plant trees in Indonesia and in Madagascar, countries where we get a lot of our ingredients.
Yeah.
And that's what we are. We like to move our own way. We've got our own music, and we like to do it with people like you, who are creative, who see the future, and who understand what we're doing, because that's great. And we cannot do anything without people like you. And I again want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity, and thank you for your love for Hermetica Paris as well.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
And I thank you because I have very dry hands, a lot of problems. But as I always said to our audience, I always put on my hand before going with the bicycle, and so it moisturize, hydrate my hands, and literally is another color. Having product that also help my skin problem was really the future.
It's like a bridge. It's like a bridge, you could say a bridge to the future, how you can combine two expertise, a skincare expertise and a perfume expertise together, but in a perfume that has a projection and that you can smell everything straight away. What's great about Hermetic is that we can't bring out a product that's already on the market. We have to keep thinking about something that's completely new. It's a huge challenge. It's a great learning, but it gives us so much energy. We like people to show us big mountains.
Okay.
Last weekend, I was in the Monte Rosa.
Okay.
And I was climbing up the 4,000, up to the pyramid, in the refuge, in the mountain, with all these great Italian people, sleeping at 3,000, well, trying to sleep at 3,500 meters high, but then going up at 5 o'clock, and every step, pushing, going forward, is a challenge. And I'm thinking this is the same way when you love a product, building a product, it's like climbing a mountain. When you get up to the top, you're like, wow, and enjoy it. And that's what we do. We enjoy what we do. Hermetica Paris is just it's a product of love, a product of joy, and a product of creative people who never give up.
Come John diceva giustamente, Hermetica è un marchio che ama le sfide, lui è il primo che ama le sfide, e proprio per questo motivo il favoloso kit di Hermetica è stupendo, con dentro tutto il bigino, la foto di John, possiamo garantire che sia lui. Con questo video, se decidete di acquistare il kit e poi una delle fragranze presenti all'interno del kit, il costo di tutto il kit, quindi 25 euro, vi verrà scalato dall'acquisto, così da poter provare veramente sulla vostra pelle cos'è questa nuova tecnologia e cosa significa tutto ciò che John ci ha appena raccontato, perché fidatevi che quando si parla di innovazione possiamo stare tranquilli se stiamo parlando da una parte con John e dall'altra di Hermetica. So John, thank you very much for coming to visit us, and I hope that my English wasn't so bad. You understood
perfect.
everything. Thanks. If you want to say something to our audience before leaving them, the camera is all for you.
Okay, I would just like to say thank you very much for this opportunity, and also enjoy fragrances. Enjoy life, enjoy fragrances, enjoy discovering, and enjoy emotions. I think the most important thing is to let our emotions live, and that's what we're here for. Have a great, great summer. And hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Non posso che accodarmi a quello che ha detto. Divertitevi sempre con le vostre fragranze e come sempre io vi ringrazio e vi do appuntamento alla nostra prossima puntata.
I'm sorry, you have a lot of work for editing, huh? It's okay? Okay, good. Well, look.
Let's eat.
Good.
Where are the croissants?
Your brother took them. He finished.
Oh. C'è in me.